What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Unfortunately, starting off with some sad news as WCW legend Steve Mongo McMichael passes away. The Rock fires back to critics. Who's next on the WWE main roster call-up? Lana Backstage at Raw? Did Becky Lynch use her backstage power? A mask versus hair match in WWE? A WWE Secret Exposed? WWE wants to remove all trace of the WrestleMania roast, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. There's going to be no intro, let's just get straight into the first story as WCW legend Steve Mongo McMichael passes away. Now, it was announced last night that Steve Mongo McMichael, who most fans will know for his work in the NFL as well as his run in WCW, has sadly passed away. WWE issued an official statement on his passing which read, "WWE is saddened to learn that Steve Mongo McMichael has passed away. McMichael initially started as a star NFL player, most known for his time playing for the Chicago Bears, where he won a Super Bowl ring and made 2 Pro Bowl teams. After his NFL career, he transitioned into sports entertainment, briefly appearing for WWE in the lead-up to Lawrence Taylor's match against Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestleMania 11. The WWE would also reference and acknowledge Mongo's prior work in WCW, including his work as part of the Four Horsemen. McMichael then found success in WCW in 1995, initially appearing as a color commentator on Nitro. Mongo, his nickname from his NFL days, then joined up with Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen, competing in a War Games match and having a long-running rivalry with Jeff Jarrett. His issues with Jarrett led to McMichael winning the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship at Clash of Champions 35. On February 8th, McMichael was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2024, and he'll be enshrined in Canton, Ohio on Saturday, August 3rd. Now, we'd like to join the wrestling world in extending our condolences to the family and friends of Steve Mongo McMichael. May rest in peace. Next up, The Rock fires back at criticism. Well, it was only a matter of time before The Rock responded to the criticism directed towards his interview with Pat McAfee. The Rock took to Instagram to respond directly to Busted Open Radio's negative comments, and The Rock yet again has failed to understand the rationale of the criticisms. "Hi Dave, the business is a complete work, always has been, always will be. Every aspect of it, every match, every interview. Please join me, Cody, Cena, Brian and the rest of us for our creative discussions so you can expand your perspective. Until then, stop ranting. It's not healthy, my friend. Enjoy the show. P.S. Tell Bubba I have Grand Marnier and hush puppies for all of us." And The Rock is making things worse with these types of comments, and the omission of Triple H from his reply is very interesting to say the very least. We have a feeling that these two really aren't on the same page, but that's just our perspective on things. Next up, an insane Logan Paul pitch revealed. Now, on the latest edition of Logan Paul's podcast, he revealed a pitch he made to WWE legend Stone Cold Steve Austin. According to the former US champion, he pitched for Austin to dress up as a Prime bottle for a total of $1 million. Naturally, Austin turned the stupid offer down. "We offered Steve $1 million to be in the Prime bottle. He didn't do it. Oh, he's not the guy. I don't care what the number is. He's not getting in that bottle. I don't think he even considered it for a second. The WWE Universe would kill him. Imagine it. He face revealed the Prime bottle." Now, it's unclear when exactly this would have taken place, but it's possible it would have been at WrestleMania 41. The majority of Logan's prior WrestleMania spots have featured a cameo from someone in the Prime bottle costume, and this year was the exception to that tradition. Austin is the type of talent that is extremely protective over his image, and this is simply something that he would never do in a million years. Next up, who's the next WWE main roster call-up? Or could we now know the next main roster call-up from NXT? Well, according to Corey Hayes of Body Slam over on X, Tony D'Angelo's name has been thrown around within WWE as someone who could be called up to Raw or SmackDown. D'Angelo is a name that's been with NXT since they launched the 2.0 era, and it's definitely time he was called up. D'Angelo has an established character and does have great potential when it comes to getting over on the main roster. Next up, Lana Backstage at Raw. Rusev made his triumphant return to WWE television on Raw this week, and former WWE star Lana was backstage to support him. Lana took to Instagram to share photos of her and Rusev backstage, and this has led to speculation that Lana could also be on her way back to WWE. Lana portrayed various roles during her time in the company, and she was mostly known for her excellent work as a manager. A WWE return for her doesn't seem too far-fetched, especially when it was established that she was extremely well-liked backstage, so it'd be a sensible rehire for Triple H and WWE. Next up, did Becky Lynch use her backstage power? Becky Lynch made her grand return to WWE at WrestleMania 41, and she would replace Bayley in the women's tag team title match, and in the space of 24 hours, she would win the tag titles, then lose them, and then embark on a heel turn. Now, a lot of fans have been critical of WWE's call to remove Bayley from WrestleMania, and it's now been reported by Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live that all the booking was the mastermind of Lynch. This whole thing was Becky's idea. It was all Becky's idea. I heard about it in advance. Becky wants to come back, she wants to win the title, then turn on Lyra the next night. When I heard it, I was like, what? This is an absolutely horrible idea. But as it turns out, her coming back and winning the title, if you went on Twitter after the show, they all cheered Becky and everything. But very shortly thereafter, there were all the Becky Hogan posts. I didn't know that her plan involved losing the titles. I thought she was going to turn on Lyra as champions and they vacate the title or whatever. But losing the title and turning on her? This all worked out perfect for a heel turn. The WWE are expecting to build towards a heated feud between Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. However, it's unknown where this leaves Bayley, but it's likely that WWE will explore the angle of who attacked her backstage at WrestleMania 41. Next up, Bayley endorsed for the Hall of Fame. Speaking of Bayley, Stone Cold Steve Austin has now endorsed the former women's champion for a WWE Hall of Fame induction. Austin would take to Instagram to reply to an extract of Bayley's interview with Chris Van Vliet, and Austin stated that she has a class act and a future Hall of Famer. There's no denying that Bayley is without a doubt a future Hall of Famer in WWE, and it's awesome to see such an iconic name endorse her publicly in this way. Next up, a mask versus hair match in WWE. Could WWE book a mask versus hair matchup? Well, new Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio cut a promo in Spanish on one of the international Netflix social media channels, and in the promo, Mysterio outright challenged Penta to a mask versus hair matchup. The two are engaged in a heated feud over on the Raw brand, and this would be a definitive way to take the rivalry to a whole new level. Next up, a WWE Secret Exposed. A footage is going viral of Randy Orton sneaking under the ring ahead of his Raw segment with John Cena. In the clip, Orton poses as a member of the ring crew and he has his hood up in an attempt to blend in. But at the last moment, Orton expertly rolls under the ring and pretty much manages to avoid any detection. In prior years, these types of clips would lead to mass outrage, as they are in essence exposing how a major WWE secret is done. However, in 2025, WWE are the kings of breaking kayfabe and exposing their own world, so it's not that big of a deal. Orton is now set to headline the 2025 Backlash show, and if the rumors are true, he will reignite his iconic rivalry with Cena, and the two will once again collide for the WWE title. Next up, will WWE book Cena vs Hendry? Joe Hendry has been pushing for a match versus John Cena for some time, and with Hendry being on the WrestleMania card and with Cena now being a heel, it seems like a distinct possibility that they could book the match. According to the TNA World Champion during an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, a music star has reached out to him to be in his corner for the match, and this will help combat any interference from Travis Scott. You know the match I'm going for, and it just now makes more sense than ever. And this is all I'm gonna say. John Cena's got Travis Scott in his corner. Can you imagine if a huge star in music just reached out to Joe Hendry? Someone in the same ballpark as Travis Scott reached out and said they might want to start backing me? Hendry has evidently given this a lot of thought, and the idea of the match happening in WWE is wild. But what if it occurred on a TNA show? Of course, the likelihood of Cena working a TNA show is hard to determine. However, with TNA letting their world champion appear at WrestleMania, they're surely owed a huge favor, and this could be it. Next up, CM Punk names the WWE MVP. There's been a lot of discussion of late in relation to who the MVP of WWE is right now, and the various names that are thrown around include Seth Rollins, Io Sky, and even Cody Rhodes. But CM Punk has chimed in on this topic, and according to Punk on the post-WrestleMania show on ESPN, his WWE MVP over the past year is none other than Liv Morgan. Over the course of the last year, Liv Morgan has been my MVP. Morgan's work, especially since moving away from the Rhea Ripley feud, has been superb, and she's truly on the best run of her entire career. Next up, WWE wants to remove all trace of the WrestleMania roast. A leak audio has shed some light on just how much of a failure WWE's WrestleMania roast ended up being. A lot of the so-called jokes were racist in nature, and one speaker even decided to reference former WWE star Jinder Mahal, saying, "I wanted Jinder Mahal, but he's going through a middle-aged ISIS thing." Now, the roast has been shared across various social media platforms, but according to Ringside News, WWE has not issued a public statement, but their swift DMC takedowns and aggressive legal efforts suggest the company never intended for this footage to leak, and now they're doing everything they can to erase it. WWE's disastrous PR week is continuing, and these leaks from the roast are making things even worse. It's easy to understand why they'd want to delete this, as it really doesn't mesh with WWE's family-friendly image. And finally, is WWE changing the WrestleMania week format? Our final story today takes a look at the potential plans to change the format of WrestleMania week. WrestleMania week is incredibly hectic and the schedule this year has been called out. WWE packed the schedule to such an extent where the Hall of Fame was taking place so late at night that talent were falling asleep. NXT talent had to arrive for the Stand and Deliver show at 5 AM, and when the final NXT show aired this week, it was apparent that the crowd were just absolutely exhausted. According to Brian Alvarez from the Wrestling Observer Live, these criticisms haven't gone unnoticed in WWE and changes could be made next year. It didn't go unnoticed by WWE. It appears that next year when they do WrestleMania in New Orleans, it's probably not going to last through NXT. NXT is probably going to be back at the Performance Center. There's some thought of running the NXT before WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans. One idea could be to move the Hall of Fame to Thursday night, and this would allow the Hall of Fame to once again stand on its own as a special attraction. One of the main issues is having SmackDown followed by the Hall of Fame and then having the special NXT show just hours later. It's far too much, and these significant events need time to breathe, as well as fans. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.